and we were using the collision glue. We were friggin' pulling the hell out of this thing. The glue was not letting go.
What brand collision glue? Because everyone has collision glue. Which one?
Jeremy Smith. And it was really super strong.
Jeremy, this thing's fucking amazing, mate. I don't know what to say. I've had this thing on here for more than 10 minutes now, and this sucker is not letting out. Look at this. It's 10 minutes, and look, still does not want to give. This thing is crazy, mate. I don't know what you put in this glue, mate, but it's freaking crazy.
What's up, everybody?
Whoa, what a video, right?
Awesome. As you can tell, our sponsor this month is Collision Glue Systems, Jeremy Smith. And happy to have him on here. And I use his glue. I haven't stopped using it since the hailstorm we had in April. And, dude, I love it. I love it and use it daily. And I haven't used anything else. Hadn't had to. So happy to have them on. We'll have that intro video every show this month for the month of November. Plus, I'll have his info scrolling across the bottom of the screen. And if anybody needs anything, just go straight to his website. They're at SEMA right now doing demonstrations and stuff with his jacked up, beat up truck. Everybody gets
talking
to,
about the glue, and you talk to him about that glue. He's super passionate about it.
Oh, man, it's so passionate.
That's awesome.
And when you call or he calls you and stuff like that, he just wants to go straight to FaceTime, and 5 minutes turns into an hour.
Wow.
And it's awesome though. He's so passionate about it. So appreciate Jeremy Smith and Collision Glue Systems and
thank you
for sponsoring us, guys. So tonight we got a great show. Excited about it. One of the best guys around in the industry. One of the best businessmen.
Definitely.
I know that I look forward to getting to know better in the near future. So we're going to his meetup. So without further ado, let's bring him on in. So we got Matt Moore with EZ Dent, guys. What's going on, Matt?
What's up, Matt?
What is going on, guys?
Oh, just loving it.
Dude, y'all got like guys all over the place jumping on this podcast. And like, how many y'all been like 3 episodes and you're the most popular podcast in the industry?
This is our 6th episode.
6. Okay, all right, there you go.
We got a little clout.
All right, yes.
So yeah, we've had anywhere between 20 to 30 people an episode
live
watching.
Nice,
yeah. Live, and that's pretty awesome.
That's we appreciate everybody watching. It's awesome.
So first off, I'm gonna go ahead and let everybody know if you want to comment, go back, grant StreamYard permission to see your name. If not, all we're going to see is Facebook user. If you don't grant
ain't got one of them yet.
Not yet. But if you don't grant it, just put your name and where you're from, but you're going to have to do it every time or we're not going to know who it is. So,
right.
But yeah, of course, I bet you can't guess who the first person to respond or comment is our brother.
He was actually in the video of the glue video. Did you notice?
Yep. Him and Christopher Allen and Shane Allen and all them. Got James Bernard on here, Tim Green, Matt Armio.
Yeah, there's a
What's
crew.
up, guys? Dan Rakiki. Oh, James is on here.
Yeah.
Looks like Bonnie and Tim are on here.
Oh, yeah.
What's up?
They will be there at the meetup. That's exciting.
I can't wait to see them.
Yeah, they're a hoot. I love them to death.
I always love talking to them, but I hate when that PDR finesse tool truck shows up. I'm like, there goes the wallet.
It's gonna be an expensive day.
Yeah. I use everything I get from them. So
I've been hiding cash in my truck. So got old James Bernard, Jack Bucknell. Look, Facebook user. Yep.
What's up?
Oh, it's David White.
That's David White. There you go.
And he
I
better
think
be there.
he's trying to come.
He
I
is.
know.
He said he's coming. He
Awesome.
gave me a commitment.
Sweet.
He better.
That's awesome.
Got
It's
Andy
gonna be like
on.
mini MTE. Like it's gonna be a lot of people there. How many are you expecting?
I don't want to like over whatever, but like 150 to 200 is what I'm expecting right now. So I mean, we'll see. I mean, who knows? Last year we had a tornado that came through like North Carolina the weekend before, so it killed it. But I mean, there's a lot of people that have committed and already bought plane tickets. So we'll see.
That's how it was with Andy's meetup. Remember what, a week before?
Oh yeah, I had a
when
hailstorm in my backyard.
Well, you had
let's
the
invite
hailstorm,
all the PDR techs down to the hailstorm.
but it was a tornado that went through Nashville.
Yeah, that was it tore up the auction and stuff.
Yeah, tore up all that, and yeah,
it's gonna be a good time. I think it. So we're talking about the meetup coming up November 13th at my shop. I think we got a little lucky, honestly, because we like what we're doing is kind of cool, and we got a shop, and that's kind of cool, and I've got a great team, and that's cool. I'm really boring and I'm a dork, but everyone we like having conversations and stuff. But because everyone has been so antsy to get together, and a lot of guys didn't make it to Vegas, and they didn't get to go to Orlando last year. And so they're like, I know we're coming to Orlando in 2 months, but I got to see everybody now. So we got a little lucky of that too. So it worked out really well. And then obviously when Bonnie and Tim say they're coming, when Anson says they're bringing a van, when Chris White's coming down with some, it all of a sudden that generates some momentum, and that helps too. So.
Oh yeah. Well, what sold me on is when I came to your first one, I was like, oh yeah, he does it again. I'm definitely going. Like it was a blast the first one, and it wasn't even as big as this one's going to be. So I can only imagine.
It'd be a good time.
Oh yeah.
And it's closer to us, so it's not far. 5.5 hour drive.
Yeah, I think I'm like 3. It's
bad.
actually closer than your other location in the first meetup. So
we're doing a prize for whoever has traveled the longest to get here. By the way, when you register for the raffle, one of the questions is, "What's your home city and state?" And my wife's gonna go through and figure out whoever traveled the longest gets a special prize. I know I know people are coming from Oklahoma, Colorado, Illinois, Pennsylvania, and Texas. I don't know anyone coming further than Colorado. I think Colorado's the furthest from me from that, but I don't know anyone coming further than that. But if there is, there's a prize involved with it. So
that's awesome.
If Vince hadn't moved from California, then he's the furthest away.
That's true. That's true.
No, it's awesome, man. We can't wait. And of course, now with our show, we'll both be there, and of course we'll go live at some point and try and get as many people on as we can.
I know RWO guys are doing their show too, so I'm sure they'll be live.
That'll be awesome.
So Jim talked about you guys doing maybe a collab show or something all together, all 4 of y'all. So
yeah, we was talking about that when you was on their show.
Yeah,
so that would be cool to do. That would be awesome.
Heck yeah.
I love them guys over there. Like we'll get off of this show and then I got like an hour to eat, and then I'd hop on and watch their show every Wednesday night. So. John Scotto's coming. Oh,
Scotto coming. I didn't know about that, dude. That's big news, huge. Man. David White.
Oh, so his MTE is not going to Orlando. Okay.
Well, we are honored to have you. On. Scotto is the man.
Yeah, he is.
He's a sweet dude too. He's a good guy.
Yeah, we'll take some toys. Anybody wants to?
Yeah, me and Andy, we both have toy drives going for November 20th. 2 separate toy drives. So
the week after. Cool.
Right. Yeah, the week after. So that's the reason I can't go to opening season, the deer season. I've got a toy drive that day. But it's great. It's great. I'm trying to see who all was on here.
A lot of people on here.
Dude, tons of them.
Eric Jacobson's on. Don Cavanaugh's on.
Oh, yeah.
Kavanaugh, yeah.
Hey.
We get to ask a question about O'Don here in a little while.
So, yeah, we put it out there. We'll kind of dive right into this, and then we'll get to a winner later. But so our friends at Anson sent us a tool that, we weren't expecting, and me and Andy both decided, hey, we're going to give it away. And so I'm going to throw a picture up here real quick, show you what it is. And there it is. So it's the Anson Connect system, the entire system they have right now. And I know that they'll have it. Chris should have some on the van. Chad Peters will be at the meetup, and he'll be kind of explaining the different uses of this tool too. So we're going to ask a question. I'm going to let Andy ask it, but what I would say is if you were at MTE and you already have this system, you may want to let somebody else answer and get it. But if not, I only know one other person on here I know for sure has it.
Right.
But I'm not gonna say his name. He knows who he is.
Man, I got that thing and used it like the day I got it. I used it 3 times that morning, just in different ways and stuff. It's crazy. I love it.
And I've seen. I saw Corey Nichols using it on a big smash job he was doing on that Honda. And I was like, man, I really want that. And they didn't have it yet to where you could purchase it. So it is available now on the Anson app. Go there. It's on sale for less than $100 for the whole system, guys. Can't beat it.
That app is awesome, by the way. I downloaded it like last week because I was signing my own guys up for the IMI that's on Friday before the show. It is like incredibly easy to use. Like it's like freaking Amazon. It's dangerously easy. Dangerously easy is what it is.
I fully agree. Well, do you want to go ahead and ask the question?
Yeah, go ahead, Andy. Ask it.
All right. So we talked to Don Cavanaugh last week, and he told us who trained him back in 1989. The first person that comments the name of the person who trained him will win the Connect system.
There we go. So while we're waiting on that, we'll go back to it. But so every show, our guest, since you're our guest this time, Matt, we want to know, who is Matt Moore outside of the PDR world? What's the what do you like to do? Family life, everything. We know you have a new baby. So
I do right now. My outside the PDR world is changing diapers and feeding a baby a bottle and trying to get my oldest to keep it down while the baby sleeps. That's that's the Matt Moore life. It is super exciting, guys. It is. Oh, yeah. Y'all should be jealous. So I've got a 9-year-old, a 6-year-old, and then a newborn 1-month-old today. All 3 boys. And Dan, thanks. Makes babies and money. Yeah. I wish I made more of both, I guess. I don't know. But no, it's good stuff. The kid is awesome. He is really, really sweet and cute, and a lot sweeter and cuter than I think any of my other kids ever were. And it's been easy. I mean, it's been a good kid. And so, yeah, that's my life. Basically, I chase kids around, and I manage 2 shops, or not manage, I own 2 shops and bounce back and forth between the 2. And I handle marketing, and I interview new employees. And it's sad to say that I really, 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 one of my biggest hobbies is growing EZ Dent. That's the thing that I kind of become addicted to and enjoy more than I probably should, but I enjoy that.
That's a good hobby, though. I would take that hobby. You know what I mean?
It's as I've scaled, I've been able to kind of create, in some ways, the job I want to be doing, which is recruiting and marketing and growing a thing, and building a team and whatever. I'm a big college football fan, so I almost like it. A lot of my job is like college football recruiting. It's like showing off kind of what we are about, and then trying to find the right pieces to fit that puzzle, and then grow and be better as a result. So I do like to golf a little bit. I'm not very good, but I like to golf.
Neither. I love it.
And speaking of which, if any of the guys that are coming to the meetup want to participate in a golf outing, we've got a significant number of guys that are playing golf on Sunday right after. But I need to know who's going to do that.
Man, I wish I could. I wish I didn't have to get back. I'd love to play golf with everybody.
It's a good group. I know Chris White, David Haxton, PJ Stevens, who else? Ray Sapnew, Derek Yost is coming, Bob Koch is coming, Max Van Nostran's coming. They're all going to stick around for it'll be a fun time. So
that's like awesome. Going out there with a bunch of pros, man.
I know. I'm the hack. The only reason I'm allowed to play with them is because I'm hosting. Like, that's it. They wouldn't invite me if I wasn't.
You can drive the cart. That's it.
PJ and Haxton, man, you can't mess with PJ and Haxton.
I know.
They're beasts.
They're good guys. They're good people too. So they're some of my favorite guys in the industry are going to be there. So anyway, there's a good group doing that. So I like to golf, and when I have the opportunity, I like to fly fish a little bit. That's my kind of unplug from life and work, and get out there with no cell phone signal and do that. But I don't do that nearly as often as I'd like, because I got to leave the house, and right now the kids kind of anchor me to the house. So.
Did you get into fly fishing when like Gene and everybody did? I know you guys took a trip out west or something, didn't you?
Yeah, so I got into it a few years ago, and then around 2 years ago, Hayes Freeman, Hudson, Tansy, and Chris White and I all did a fly fishing trip in Colorado in Vail, and that's a next level. Going to like destination fly fishing is next level fly fishing,
Right.
and it'll get you hooked on it pretty quick. And then you just spend a lot of money. I mean, it's like golf. You spend a lot of money and you're not very good at it, but it's fun. So, but that's kind of those are my hobbies. I enjoy that, and then basically filling out honey-do lists for the wife. So
Yeah, that's a never-ending thing. Though.
that's it. So,
How long have y'all been married?
So we've been married, 16 years now. I got married. I am 36. I got married. I was 20 years old when we tied the knot. We went on our honeymoon, and we were driving, and we stopped at a gas station, and I tried to buy champagne, and they would not sell me champagne because I didn't have a fake ID, and I wasn't old enough to buy champagne on my own honeymoon. So, but my wife and I we were stupid enough to get married young and smart enough to wait a while to have kids, 8 years to have kids. And that has allowed us to be good buddies. We're best friends, and we, as dorky and whatever is it, we enjoy the hell out of each other and enjoy spending time together. And, kids get in the way of that some, but it's part of life. So
She's a sweetheart
awesome,
too.
man.
I met her at the first meetup.
Oh God, she's
outgoing. And
she's
everything.
bougie and sophisticated and a lot cooler than I am. I'm like flannel and puffy vests, and she's a sommelier, like legitimately, she's a wine expert, and like that's what she does for a living. And so, she was, if she could be in France right now, she'd snap her fingers and be there. And like I'm just trying to keep up, basically. So
Has she
Now, how do
always
you guys-
wanted to do that though?
So she was a teacher for years. She taught French. She was a French teacher for a long time, and that led to a lot of travel. And she kind of was a big immersive teacher. So she would go and take kids. So we would go every other year. She'd either go to France, like a France, Italy, and like Germany type European trip. And then the following year they'd go to Quebec City in Canada because it's a French Canadian. And that immersion was kind of a part of her thing. And she found that she really liked teaching the culture more than even the language. And that, it was honestly a Christmas present I gave her one year was a wine tasting kind of mini class. And she just fell in love with it and said, I want to do this. And so she's a sommelier, and she's working towards her next level of sommelier. And like this coming weekend, she's going to there's a country club that hires her every quarter to come in, and they do wine tastings, and she teaches their staff how to sell wine. And so again, she's a lot more sophisticated than I am. She's, but I do get a lot of good wine at the house, which is nice. It makes me, I get to drink the leftovers.
awesome.
So that's good.
The leftovers. You got to drink the stuff they spit back in the glass.
That's it. I do. So my go-to, I like bourbon, and then I smoke a decent amount of cigars. That's kind of those are my like legit like kind of vices, I guess.
Yeah.
But
So is anybody hitting the cigar? Y'all got plans for cigar bar while we're?
I know
Glidewell will be there.
I know Glidewell said he's bringing a box of sticks, and I told him he just had to bring me one. That's all. That's the only rule. And so we will be smoking some cigars. We are working on the after hours on Saturday because there's a lot of people that are staying. I'm actually staying. I booked a night for myself and my wife and the kid at a hotel right near the shop at the meetup, so that we could go out and enjoy ourselves and stay out and do all this stuff. So our game plan is dinner after the show, and then try to find like we've actually found a couple that I've got to go check out next week. Some kind of sports bar pub area to go and everybody end up there after they go to dinner. Cause again, if there's 100 guys going out to dinner, probably can't go to one spot. So we spread out and then end up there. So there is a hoot.
Awesome.
There is a hoot.
Top golf.
The Top Golf is like 25 minutes drive from there, and the Andretti. There's a Hooters right like walking distance to the shop. So I'm set for the next hailstorm. I'm ready. If the hailstorm hits, we're good.
Oh, you got a Hooters? I'm there. Let's go.
Oh, Lord.
That's it. Yeah. So
you can't have a ditch shop without a Hooters.
Yeah. but we got some good food around there. Some and then so our shop backs up. It's like there's a street where there's dealership, body shop. I mean, there's tons of dealerships right in a row, but it backs up right behind my shop. At the new one is a mall in Atlanta. That's the Gwinnett Place Mall. It's this old like 89 rundown, like just been there for forever. And I've told this story before, but it's actually the mall that they use in Stranger Things season 3 to represent the 80s mall, because it looks the exact same as it did then. But it's literally the mall they filmed. So every, my Tex Taylor I know is watching this right now, and he works at that shop. But once a week or once every 2 weeks, we'll come in and they'll be like, extras parking go this way. I think Peter Dinklage, who was on Lord of the Rings, was filming a movie there like 2 weeks ago. Someone said they saw him in a parking lot, and like he was filming something out back. So
I'd probably be chasing him because I like him.
He's a cool dude. So it's awesome. It's good stuff. Tyrion Lannister, man. So it's good stuff.
Heck yeah.
So so that's kind of where we're at, is right there.
I think David White's asking if for anything Friday night. I know I'll be there Friday night. So
yeah. So I'm staying at the hotel Friday and Saturday, just so that I can host. I know that like Vince D'Alessandro, he's coming in for the IMI on Friday. I know a lot of the guys that are signed up for the IMI. There's a handful of guys that are going to be doing that, and then most of the tool vendors are going to be setting up Friday afternoon or getting at least in town. So as a result, we'll end up going out that night, I'm sure, and setting it up.
Yeah.
So
gingerbread cake.
Nice.
We've been called everything.
I got the red beard for sure. I don't have any red beard. It's brown on the head, but I got the red beard. So
at least you got hair. You should be happy. You're so lucky you got hair. We got the issue of not having that.
Good stuff.
You reading?
Who is EHH 250?
That is Evan Torres.
Oh, okay, yeah. He's a good dude.
Yeah.
So I'm rereading the Never Split the Difference, which is a really great negotiating book by a guy who's a ex-hostage negotiator for the FBI. And that's a really, really great book. A great negotiating book, and it's kind of a sales book. And I read it a long time ago, but I'm rereading it right now, honestly, or listening to it on Audible. So that's the one. That and a Stephen King book. So if you want the Stephen King recommendation, I can give you that.
I'm horrible with books. So, I can't. I try to listen to them at work, and I got these headphones on, and somebody still wants to come up and talk to me with these headphones on. I'm trying to listen to, but I just give up. I'm like, dude, I'm done.
I've got to listen to them. I can't read them unless it's something that's I can just read in one night. Like a biography or something like that. I'll do, but everything else I just got to listen to.
So I typically, Dave Strain, I know, talks about he will read the book while listening to the audiobook. That he told me that years ago. What I typically do is I listen to the audiobook, and if I really like it, then I go buy the paperback and I go through and kind of highlight. I'm like, all right, where was it that I really and I find that passage and I kind of highlight it, and then that way I have like an earmarked thing on the shelf.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. And that kind of. I have the paperback, but I listen to them mostly the first time.
Right.
So.
And with me, it's even listening to them. It's got the narrator has to be just somebody like James Earl Jones or something like that you can just really get into, and not just a monotone person reading through it.
Yeah. I listen to a good bit of it. I love podcasts and books. That's one of the biggest benefits. Honestly, when as a technician, I got into it. Like, I don't know, 6, 7, 8 years ago during a hailstorm. And that was just me working late at night. And I started listening to podcasts, and that led to listen to audiobooks. And I've had an Audible account since, and I'm addicted to it. I love it. I feel like it's like a benefit of this job is that you can be entertained and learn something and feel like you're educating yourself and work and make money at the same time, which is kind of cool.
Right.
So,
I think that's still Evan. Real quick, I'm going to say I know the first person to
I do too.
Comment was Dan Rikiki.
Yeah. I didn't specify. I could have put in last name too, but I didn't specify.
Well, we also could have put in like make sure the spelling's right. And,
Jargon. Jogan. Is that his name?
Jargon Holzer.
Yeah. But yeah, Dan, I'll get with you after the show and get your address and everything and get this sent out to you, buddy. So congratulations.
I tell you, those kits, I got a few of them in the mail the other day, and I literally, like, the moment I got the bag, I was telling you guys this off there, I opened the bag, and like one of my guys, was like looking over my shoulder at it, and like I get a phone call, and I come back, and all the tools are scattered, like they're in other people's carts, because they were so looking forward to that, because they've been excited about them. So those are cool little tools. So
they are, and I'm excited to use it, and I know what I want to use it for and try it on. I don't have that in the shop right this second. I've got some hell jobs that I've got to get done. So
Taylor is one of my techs at my Duluth store. He said he gets paid to listen to podcasts. Taylor, I'll tell you this. Taylor is a guy that if you ever get a chance to work around him, will be working, and it'll be like dead silent in the shop. I mean, we have music or whatever, but it's like, and then he listens nonstop to comedy, and he'll just like belt out this huge raucous laughter that like comes out of nowhere, and everyone in the shop looks at each other like, who said that? And it's his headphones. So anyway, it's something that he finds amazingly funny, and we just like kind of laugh at him finding that funny. So it's good.
I hate he's not going to be at the meetup. I reached out to him, like, dude, I'll see you at the meetup. He's like, well, about that. He said, Matt fired me. I was like, okay, I know better than that. One, two.
He's supposed to be there on Friday, I think, for part of the day, but he's got tickets. So there's a big race that's a 24-hour race. It's Petit Le Mans that happens in Atlanta every year. Taylor's like the biggest fan of that, so he goes every year. Honestly, when I booked this, it was more to do with the vendors' availability to be there, and I looked and was like, there was a pretty clear Dent calendar and vendors were available, and I didn't even know that Petit Le Mans was going on. I made sure that like there was no home Georgia game. Basically, that was my one criteria.
I don't even want to talk about Georgia football right now. God bless.
That's like Auburn. Auburn I hadn't even watched them in the last 2 weeks because I've been focused on the Braves.
Yep.
So
that's it.
I just wish they would have done that crap at home.
Auburn's been looking good too. They're gonna have a good team. They'll put up a fight with Alabama. I don't know if they can beat them, but they'll put up a fight for sure.
Well,
we'll see.
They're number 13 right now, so
that's it.
We'll see.
The Braves, man, winning last night. That was cool.
Dude, that was awesome. Awesome.
I know both Taylor as well as my shop manager at the Duluth location, Preston, were both at that game 5, hoping that, and when that grand slam happened, we're all texting and like, oh, it's gonna happen, So, but I mean, it's still cool. It's cool. They were at a World Series game the year that we won. That's cool. But
let's see.
So
somebody's asking
David White's asked about G-Technic. So G-Technic is going to be there for sure. I don't know. The honest truth is I called him yesterday or the day before, and he was on a flight to SEMA. And so we were supposed to talk this week about exactly what they're going to have set up. I know that they're going to have product there for sale, as well as reps there to kind of talk about the product. But I'll tell you what, I mean, my detailers that install the G-Technic will all be there from both locations, as well as both my shop managers who sell it all day long. And we freaking love it. I mean,
awesome.
I think one of the biggest mistakes I made in my shop was not adding ceramic coating day one that we opened the shop. I mean, in my opinion, honestly, I think it's a perfect fit for what we do. And I think a dent guy could do it. If you're a one-man army, you could do that too. And not to go off on that, but I think it's a good fit. If you've got a shop and you're paying the overhead for a shop and you've got the customer in front of you, you need to sell them as many things as you can possibly do, because it's too expensive to get a customer. So and ceramic coating's got good margins, and it takes the patience similar to a PDR to do the paint correction. And so yes, G-Technic will be there specifically to talk to dent guys, basically. So that's kind of what I've sold them on, is that there's a bunch of dent guys that are thinking about opening shops, and I'm trying to tell them to add ceramic coating to their portfolio, and you need to have that conversation. So they are there basically to have conversations with guys exactly like you, David. So
awesome.
Yeah. And the reapply after a repair, I'm assuming that's David as well. He's saying, I want to be able to reapply after a repair. We get a lot of work from our collision centers for that, where they will basically bring us, hey, there was a big smash dent on a fender where they had to repaint it, but they know we're ceramic coating shop, so they'll bring it to us and let us do the reapply it after they're done with it. So that relationship that we've already built allows us to kind of do more.
Hell yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah,
I know Kiko's going to be there too. Award-winning Kiko. What about that at SEMA? That was awesome.
That is awesome. I text Chris this morning. I was super excited. So if you don't know, Kiko won best new product, I think, of the year for the SEMA. Chris White will be at the show. Chris is one of my best friends in the industry. He's a mentor of mine. He's an incredibly good man and good guy. And
definitely,
obviously he's got Big Dent Dave Shalott and Dave's and Gene Fetty working with him and helping and there's just he surrounds himself with good guys, and so I'm
got Danny Hacker.
Yep. Oh, Danny's awesome. Danny's a good dude.
Yeah.
Dave Shalott will be here at the show as well at the meetup, which is
awesome.
Yeah, he's coming down and he's golfing with us on Sunday too. So if you're golfing, you get paired up with him. So
I love Dave Shalott.
So anybody any dent tech you've seen on Facebook golfing at some point, we'll be golfing Sunday.
Basically.
Right. That's it, man. Joe Stonich is coming down. He's the one I see more golfing with anyway.
Oh, yeah.
Drinking good bourbon or tequila and golfing.
He's a great guy.
So,
that's a tough life, man.
It's tough, man. So, that's good. But it'll be good. I think half those guys are coming just to the golf for the golf. So
yeah,
that's cool. I mean, like a huge golf outing. It's crazy.
That's right. So it'll be good. We'll have to do a charity golf thing next year, or the Dent Guy charity thing or something like that.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Hit up some cool destinations and do that. It'd be a neat thing to do.
He's talking about Dave Shalott. I seen Danny Hacker's video, like live video. Dave's selling it, man. He was really going to town on the. It seemed I was loving it. I loved it.
My favorite thing is they're at this thing where they're winning the awards. I'm gonna pick on Dave. They're all wearing like their nice jackets and their button downs, and like everyone's repping. And Dave's in like a Kiko polo and like no undershirt Kiko polo. He doesn't care. Dave Shalott is like the coolest guy I know because he doesn't care at all. So
I got to play golf with him, and I think it was in Texas at the Anson Open House. We went out and played golf. Me, him, Gene, a couple other people.
Yeah,
I think that's what it was.
He is good.
I played some golf with him.
Big Dent Dave, man, he is a good dude. So he's a sweet guy.
Yeah, him, and of course Joe Stonich and a bunch of other techs. I think some of them are going to be there. Ray, all of them had bought one of the American flags I made. Last year that I was doing that actually gave me rotator cuff issues and golf elbow and tendonitis. Yeah, it all came from that. And I haven't built any lately, but they're a bunch of great guys, man. And Joe
Ozarks. That's what I was. Sorry, Dan. It was Ozarks where we play golf at. I get everything mixed together. It was a PDR 20 group in-person meeting. That's all I know.
My son's been trying to get me back into golf and stuff, and we want to, and he's a sophomore in high school now. So, I mean, I played all through high school growing up. And after that, my wife, when we met, she worked in Mobile here. We had a AA baseball team that started in 97. That was the Padres AA, and that's who she worked for 8 years. And we ended up getting married there, not on the field, but using the stadium club and all that
That's
kind
cool.
of stuff there. But she had a golf course just right up from the shop here, one of the Magnolia Grove. It's a Robert Trent Jones, but LPGA plays there, and they used to have free passes and stuff. Used to go all the time.
I tell you, if I was a hail guy, that would be the thing. And not to go off on golf, but like if I was a hail guy, like as sucky as it is to be away from your family and all that, I'd be taking advantage of all of that. Like I would find a hobby and golf is a perfect pairing of that because you're on the road, you can try out new courses, you can try out new things. I mean, that's a great fit to me.
You can suck all across the country. It'd be terrible all across the country.
Find microbrews and golf, basically. Those are the two things I'd be checking out every day. So that's good stuff.
Matt, I know most people on here know you, but where did you learn about PDR? How did you get started in the PDR business?
So I worked at a dealership as a internet sales manager. My job basically was to take the pictures of cars, put them online. And one of the jobs that I was given was essentially to oversee all of our sublet work. So that included in-house work when my service, techs were putting windshield wipers. I was checking to make sure they were actually needed it and if they needed brake pads and all that stuff. But then part of the job was also to oversee the sublets of wheel guys, dent guys, paint guys, basically. And the PDR guy that basically worked for me made more and worked less than anybody I knew. And I was like, this guy rolls in at freaking, 10:45. He works until 11:45, and then we go and take a 2-hour lunch. And then he comes back and he takes an hour nap in the back of the car. And then he comes bills us, at 3:30, he's turning in $1,000 bill. I was like, how the hell is that happening? Like, how do I do that? and the guy, and we were close friends, and we would go to lunch a lot when he was in town. And basically he was moving away. He was going to, he was getting married, and his bride to be was going to medical school in California. And just over lunch one day, just off the cuff, I said, what are you doing with your business? He said, well, there's nothing we really can do. That, it takes too long to train someone, and there's really no value because I'm walking away and it's just accounts. I'll probably just call one of my buddies who's a PDR guy and just say, Merry Christmas, here's all my accounts. And I said, there's value there. And I was naive and young and stupid and thought that, man, this is I can learn this in 6 months, whatever. And, so I basically kind of twisted his arm into training me. So he had 13 months before he was moving. His name's Keith Manker. A lot of guys in the industry know him. He's a hail guy. He worked for Kiko for a while, kind of helping rep their products to body shops. Keith's a good guy. He's a really good tech. Great hail guy, great wholesale PDR guy when he was local, and just a big personality. And so I went and he'll actually be at the show at the meetup, I think, as well. I think I saw his name. But Keith basically trained me, and I took over his route, took over his business, and then kind of turned it into what, my version of that was trying to transition. Basically, I listened to PDR College podcast and started transitioning away from wholesale into retail about 5 years into my industry. And the reality was I actually lost one of my biggest accounts about 4 years in. And it was overnight, no, when I walked in the door and they were like, hey, we're going in-house. And it was about 30% of my income. Oh, wow. And so when that happened, I said, I got to make a change. And so I started going into retail, transitioning to retail. And that was about the time of Keith and Shane starting their podcast and really talking about what it would look like to do retail and kind of giving me almost the confidence to take some of those scary steps, and build a website and start asking for reviews and start, investing in that part of it. And what's funny is the account that went in-house turned around 6 months later and called me back and said, hey, we want you to come back. And my technicians still service it today. We still service that. Awesome. Wow. So,
that's cool.
So, but we had, that's kind of, where we went. We went from wholesale into the retail game. And then, as I've told this story before, but for me, I kind of got burned out of even that after a while. I really liked the marketing side of things. I really liked kind of building a thing, but I'm not I'm not a car guy. I'm not like a left brain thinker. So like PDR wasn't really I liked it because I was an entrepreneur, but I didn't love it because I'm not, again, it wasn't a perfect fit for my personality. And so I decided to open a shop and start training so that I could, kind of focus on, process oriented business. I read the book, The E-Myth. We've talked about that before, but I read the book, The E-Myth, and that really changed the game for me. Just learning how to process oriented business and treat this thing like a actual CEO would treat it and not like a PDR tech would treat it. And that, 5 years, 6 years later, whatever it is, here we are. So
that's awesome.
Awesome.
I remember meeting you at MTE for the first time. I think you were still a one-man show and stuff, and it's just crazy how much you've grown. Yeah, it's insane how much you've grown and stuff. I love it.
Yeah.
It should give everybody out here what to strive for is like what you got going on.
I'll tell you, if you ever are starting to grow, the main thing you need to focus on, and we were talking about this before we got on the air, the main thing you need to focus on is finding the right people that to me, it's about finding people that get it, that want it, and they can do it. Those three things, right? So like finding the people that get what you're about, what your goal is, what your team is about, that want to be a part of that, and then can execute it. And I love Taylor. I don't like when my technicians get on it. They distract me. Sorry.
They are.
They do make fun of me because I'm like, hey, grab that, that Toyota, and they're like, You mean that actor? And I was like, yeah, sure, whatever. It's all metal. It doesn't matter. Just anyway. But to me, finding the people that basically believe in what you're doing. And so for us, one of the reasons we even want to do a meetup is to basically just kind of let the industry know who we are. And I know we've talked and on these podcasts and people kind of see me from a whatever, but I'm literally like, I'm not scripted. My employees are all going to be there other than Taylor apparently, but most of my employees are all going to be there. They literally, I'm not telling them what to say. They can ask them any questions they want. They can talk about and it's so that as we're growing, if there's ever opportunities for guys to be a part of what we're doing, I want the right people I want them to get what we're doing and want to be a part of it. So
I can tell you outside looking in, like when I met your guys, I know it's grown now, but the first meetup I met your guys in the MTE, talked to them again, like you handpicked some really good people and you can tell they're buying in. That same thing with like Gene Fetty did the same thing. He surrounded himself with employees that are great people and buy in and stuff. That's a good thing. That's rule number one. I think you got to have people that buy in.
And they do, and there's a lot of guys that I think you could have really great conversations with, respect the hell out of, and they wouldn't make a good fit for what we're doing in a shop environment. But that doesn't mean they're bad. It just means they're better suited to be on their own. Yeah. Taylor is going to roll his eyes if I tell the story. But one of the things we talk about a lot is this image of there's a book that I read a while back called The Boys in the Boat, and it's this crew team. It was an old 1938 or 42 or whatever it was, Olympic crew team that basically was this Washington Cornhuskers crew team that goes up against all these really Ivy League schools, and they end up somehow miraculously winning that, and they go from that to going to the German Olympics. This is the Jesse Owens Olympics and all that stuff, and they end up basically going up against the Germans and the Italians, and they basically miraculously win the gold medal in this. And it's a great book. It's this really inspirational, We Are Marshall, Remember the Titans type book. Yeah. But I love the image of a crew because I love the idea of, basically everyone is assigned a spot in the boat. They know exactly what their role is. It doesn't make sense, to try to say, no, you're doing it wrong. Let me swap places with you. That doesn't help anyone at all. Everyone understands exactly what their job is. And if anyone slows down, it slows everyone else down, and everyone else feels that. And if anyone pushes themselves to be better than maybe they're even signed up to be, everyone else has to speed up to stay with them. So this idea that we're all choosing to be in this boat together. And on a crew, again, I like the imagery of this. On a crew, if you know anything about crew, everyone who's actually rowing is facing backwards. So they're trusting the guy at the front who's calling the signs. There's one person calling the signs, looking at the competition, calling the pace, and everyone on that boat is signed up and agreeing to say, look, I'm going to put my trust that as a team, we're better off than we would be in our own little boats by ourselves. And so for us, we recruit, and literally into my interviews when I'm talking to guys, I tell that story and I say, this is what you want to be a part of. This is what you're signing up for. So for us, that's a really important piece of the puzzle, is trying to find people that want to be a part of that. And
that's awesome. So like we were talking earlier before the show too, that like me, I personally have trust issues. So I love helping people. I love putting it out there. It's just, I usually get burned, because I put too much faith in people. And I want to expand, and I really want to find the right people to take care of and train, and who really want to learn this, but stay with me and be able to do the wholesale and stuff. Cause I'm strictly retail now. I've got my shop. I'm strictly retail. But I want to keep servicing the wholesale, but it's hard for me because I've been burned trying to help, just say other local techs, that were new that I took on, tried, but they just weren't listening to anything. And as soon as you have to cut ties, it's like, they want to spread all kind of rumors and stuff. And it just, but I hate, I want to find that. I want to find the people. I've had a lot of people reaching out to me, especially since the Dream event, other techs wanting to know if I train, stuff like that. I've been trying to get ducks in a row on that, because I don't want to just train for money. I want to train people the right way.
Yeah.
But I want people working for me. I want to expand. I want to do like that. I want to, like you're doing, we're a smaller market down here. We're not huge like, Atlanta and the suburbs and all that whole area. So down here, I maybe could have 1 or 2 employees servicing, which would be great. I've got to sit down with like somebody like you that's like one-on-one, and that's how I comprehend it.
Yeah.
Kind of, or coming and seeing how you do things. I'm one of those that I can pick stuff up just by watching.
Yeah.
More than sitting there listening to it.
For us, I'll tell you this, and this is not to go off on scaling and whatever too much, but for us, what it took was me hiring one person and basically seeing, like, as soon as you give someone a job and they do that job and you kind of are looking over here and you look back and you're like, wait, you did that better than I would have done it. And whether that's R&I or, when I hired Taylor, he was a estimator and basically a front end manager and talking to customers. And he was better than I was at that role. When I hired my A tech of the shop I'm in right now, Mark, he was an R&I tech, but he had, more pride in what he did than I did at that job because I was trying to do 19 different things. Right. And so, and as soon as you start kind of like, right now we have, I think 15 employees plus 4 full-time subcontractors that are, for whatever, different reasons, they're basically working 30 plus hours a week for me as a sub. That didn't happen overnight. It started with two, and then, we've kind of grown from there. But it takes, having the right people. And for me, I'm a big process guy. So I like to develop the process and then find the right person to then, like, this is the playbook, go do this thing. And then I'm going to step back and I'm just going to force myself to trust you. And that forces you to sink or swim. And you can certainly get burned. But I think for me, at least, that's been our success. That's been our key to success has been the ability to find the right people and to give them the right roles. And then for me to get the hell out of the way, honestly. That's the reality. I'm not trying to, whatever, but it's the reality is, the business would not be where it is if I was trying to do all the dents or I told you this before the air. I'm the backup to everybody. I'm literally today, my shop manager of Athens is Ethan. He's in Disney right now with his family. I'm the backup shop manager and I am miserable. I hate this job. I literally want to kill him all day long because he's gone. But I hate it. But it's the job, but and it makes me realize, and it literally makes me appreciate the guys that I have because it's he loves this. He loves interacting with customers. He loves the bullshitting with customers. He loves the, man, look at that truck. What do you got under there? Whatever, all that stuff that I don't have any energy for at all. Right. That's not me. I know, Don's watching this right now. Don's that kind of guy. He loves interacting with customers and loves coming out and telling the story and all those things. There's a lot of guys that, to me, you've got to find kind of who you are and what your strengths are and also what your weaknesses are, and then try to hire for those weaknesses and focus on those strengths. That's as simple as that sounds. I've told this story before, but one of the things that I do once a year at least is a circle square exercise where I literally write down all the things. Take a piece of paper out and I write down all the things I do in a week, in a day, in a month, whatever, and take a same pen and I circle all the things I love doing and I square all the things I hate. And I'm like, how do I do less of those squares and more of these circles? And that's, I literally hire squares. That's that as cheesy as that sounds, that's what I found is that if I hate doing it, then that probably means that I need to be hiring people to be doing that job because it doesn't mean that it's a terrible job. It just means that someone else is more passionate about it.
How do you go about finding the guy?
I know the same too, really.
So for me, you can go to a couple of different directions. You can find someone who's really good at customer service, and that can be found in a lot of different ways. There's a lot of great people that are customers. There's people that work at banks, and when Taylor came on board and worked for me, I know he's watching this. He worked as an accountant, and he was kind of a front end at an accountant's office. He was incredible with people. Teaching them PDR is not as hard as we make it out in our head. I think we inflate how hard it is to sell a dent in our head, right? That's the reality is it's not that hard. We're not, whatever. And the past couple of hires that I've made for the front end, I've asked them to be, basically I wanted them to have the ability to write CCC1 with a body shop estimating software specifically for hail. And so I've hired guys that came from the collision industry specifically. So it kind of depends on what you want to do. If you need someone who's more looking for, that's going to be writing more hail estimates, you need to have someone who has that understanding, or you need to be willing to what's up, Ryan?
Ryan? Lovely guy.
To teach that. Or if you're not in a insurance environment where you're writing a lot of insurance tickets, the honest truth is you need to find someone who's really good with customers. One of the last hires I made here at our Athens store is the guy who's a head ceramic coating. Half my Instagram pictures are of him because he's like this, like incredibly, like he like takes these awesome pictures of buffing cars. Also, his name's Edwin. He'll be at the show. Edwin worked at a kitchen at a restaurant that we would like to go to.
Really?
But I knew enough about him to know he was a detail oriented person. He was a guy who focused on details. And I knew he was kind of not happy where he was. And I said, why don't you come on by and talk to us? So I hired him as an R&I tech, and he was an incredibly good R&I tech. And immediately I was like, this guy's more detail oriented and clean than any of my techs. He's gonna be a perfect ceramic coating guy. And that's the role he's in, and he's killing it. He's doing PPF and ceramic for our Athens store now. So anyway, so you don't have to think about like, I need to find someone who has all this experience in selling PDR. PDR is not that hard to sell. You're basically saying, there's some nuance to like what's fixable or not, but you're basically saying, do you want it faster, cheaper, and less invasive than a body shop? Use us. That's it. So, yeah. So
yeah.
Awesome,
I was given some great advice about a year ago, and because I'm such a perfectionist, and that was one of my trust issues is not only trusting the person, but trusting that even when I train them or getting somebody who is trained in, is them doing the same quality of work. And this buddy of mine, older guy, he said, never, where was I going with it? My mind, me and Andy do this all the time. We'll be talking in this like, okay. So he told me, he said, never expect yourself in others. And once that just kind of clicked. And so that's kind of like saying you got to put trust in others to do a specific job and stuff.
And again, we've gone off and we're talking about scaling more than we are about anything else, which is fine. But to me, I talked about this last year. I know Don's on here now. We talked about this last year at the Dream event. If you watch that video, one of the things that I talked about was the lie that we tell ourselves that we're the only one who can do a job. Like we're the only, like we overinflate our ego, and the reality is we're the only one that has done that job because we're an entrepreneur. Like if you're a one-man show, you're an accountant, you're a marketing manager, you're a salesman, you're a PDR guy, you're an R&I tech, you're a buffer, you're whatever it is. The reality is you're not as good as you think you are. You're just the only one that's done it all this time. And so you've kind of tricked yourself into thinking that yours is the only way. But if you give someone else, if you bring someone on that has a passion for it, and you create a process and you bring the right person on and you give them like, this is your lane, they're going to do more with that than you've ever done, because they're going to take a lot of pride in that. Like you're to some extent, we're downplaying what other people, we're being very, very full of ourselves and downplaying what others could do. And the reality is, there's a lot of really good people out there that work their asses off and are really good at the job they do. I don't know who that is. I don't know who it is. It's probably
would that be Birdman,
Stephen Hamby, or somebody. Anyway,
it might be Hamby.
Anyway.
I love how you guys go back and forth with each other. It's hilarious. The one where you pulled up on him or whatever, and he's doing the live video. He's like, "This damn customer wants to ask." Rolling.
That's the reality. You're just when you start scaling, when you start talking about other people, focus less on what you do for the company. Focus more on just writing a job description for what you would feel like an ideal person doing that would be, and then just hire for that. Like don't think about the way you do things, because the way you do things isn't as good as you think it is. That's
I'm not a businessman. I can tell you that right now. I can push a dent, and that's it.
I know who that is. I got an inside person. That is Mr. Hudson Tansey.
Oh God, Hudson.
Unless we're not talking about pooping in people's houses.
I know we were talking about you off the air earlier, Hudson.
I love
It was not good.
Hey, you
He's a
can get
funny
it back
dude.
real quick. All you gotta do is say "Go Braves."
I'm glad
That's
he's
right.
teamed up with Jim Mitchell. They're like polar opposites, but they work well together, and I think that's a great combo.
I think it's a great fit. I really do. I mean, I'm not bullshitting. Like yesterday, I signed up for Real World for my techs to have, and I was like, look, I think there's just too much value here, and you guys are teaching things that I don't have the energy or the ability or I'm not as good at to teach to my own techs. So I want this as a resource for my guys. So I signed up for it.
Even us who been in it for a while or whatever. I used to, before Real World, I used to go and do the dent trainer and just pay for it for like a month and just catch up on videos.
Watch all the videos.
And catch little things. And lately I've been thinking, man, I need to do the Real World thing. I really want to go on there and now
I'm telling you,
it's going to be awesome.
Firsthand, I've done Real World, and like Jim explains stuff. I haven't been on there since Hudson's been on there, but Jim explains stuff so well when he's training on them videos. Like it just makes sense. It's good stuff. So
so that's somebody at SEMA.
And I think that Jim and Hudson together are really, really good. A really good fit. I'm saying all these compliments to Hudson as he's like trying to please mute him.
That's awesome.
So anyway,
we'll talk a little bit more about
Jeremy Smith is the one that said he had to jump away. By the way, I just saw
okay.
That, so,
okay,
Jeremy, awesome. I'm glad he's watching.
Yeah. Jeremy, I hope you come to the show. I don't know if you are or not. I know Jim was trying to get you to come up, and Trey was trying to get you to come up. That'd be cool to have you up here. So
it would. I don't know if he'll. He won't give me a definite answer.
I'd love to see that stuff in action. I haven't seen it yet in person, so
it's good. It's good.
Yeah,
stuff.
Brandon's always raving about it.
Well, he came here during the peak of the hailstorm we were doing and did a video here, kind of showing us, and he wanted to get a live it was all recorded, but get real reactions on how this stuff is working. And we were doing some nasty hail dents. I mean, but it's awesome, and it's all in preparation and stuff like that. So
I'm waiting for somebody to send me a video of that.
Yeah, sorry.
I'm like, don't send me FaceTime me something. I got to see the prep process. I haven't seen it yet, so I'm still trying to figure it out.
I'll hook you up with Jeremy Smith. So
perfect. We'll get it done.
No, it's awesome. But yeah, they so we know the vendors and stuff that's going to be there. Talk about this food, man. This is barbecue.
So Josh Radloff, if you don't know him, he owns Q Shack Barbecue. He's a hail guy in South Atlanta. Really plugged in guy, has been around for years and good dude. And he made the moose knuckle, was the leverage kind of thing off of the tires years ago, and was pretty plugged in. He used to work when Dent Gear used to have a booth at MTE. He would always work and help out in that booth. But Josh will be there, and he is a competition barbecue guy, and so like he goes to these things and wins all this stuff. And I'm not joking, our like shop, we followed on Instagram, and Ethan, who I'm sitting at his desk, like literally drools over it every day. It's like anyway, so we got a phone call coming in.
That's not me. I'm at home.
Okay. So no, Josh is a good dude, and so he is bringing his competition barbecue trailer, and basically bringing a food truck for the event. And then I'm gonna bring a bunch of beer, sodas, and sides, and all that stuff. And Mobile Tech RX is gonna be there in person. One of the head VPs for Mobile Tech RX will be there in person. We'll have Jim and Michael both from Real World be there. You guys will both be there. Chris over at Anson, he's bringing his van here. Bonnie and Tim will both be there. We've got Sal from formerly of Dent Gear will be there helping Josh with sell some of his tools. Trying to talk Hudson into coming and hanging out. I don't know if he's coming or not, but we'll see. It's going to be can we grab Hub? It's gonna be good stuff, man. So I mean, we've got we were counting the vendors yesterday. I think we've got 15 or 16 vendors there basically set up. Top Secret PDR is setting up a booth there. I don't know those guys personally, but they messaged me and asked if they could be a part of it. And I know that they made some obviously some glue, but then they also sell the stuff that you put on the tip to harden and use as like a light on it.
The Glexo.
It's similar to Glexo. I think it's like it's a similar thing to Glexo, but they'll be there as well. And then Chad Peters with Endeavor Dent Tools, and he's also partnered with Todd and they've made 2MB1. So they've got the mod rail system for carts. Andy, you said you're bringing your cart and showing it off, right?
Yes, but I got the Pro PDR Solutions A-frame cart. Had it for years. The tool holders was the only problem with that cart, and I got with them and got the mod rails. They installed right on that A-frame cart, and I'm going to bring it down so everybody can check it out. That's made that cart 20 times better. So
it's gonna be awesome. That's Hudson talking about his couch.
Hey,
he's not. You're not staying at my house. You can stay at somebody else's couch. Sorry.
You can sleep on the floor in the hotel room. All the hotel rooms were like one king size bed, and that was it.
That's it.
You ain't sleeping in the bed with me, but you sleep on the floor.
I know.
He don't take much space.
He does.
I have been very, very impressed with the guys that are wanting to be a part of it. It's going to be exciting. Just really some cool guys that are wanting to just come and hang for a weekend in Atlanta, Georgia, and that'll be neat to see. And if you're bringing your family, there's awesome stuff in Atlanta, obviously. And my wife is going to be there with our 1-month-old. So if you bring your wife, they can hold a baby. They can hold a baby, so my wife can have a drink. That'd be cool. But no, it'll be a good time. And yeah, I mean,
Matt Boyette.
Matt Boyette will be there. Yeah.
Oh yeah, awesome. Yep.
Yeah. He's got a crew coming.
Yep, he'll be all there, and hope he brings some stuff to sell as well. That'd be cool.
This thing's gonna be huge. I'm pumped. I can't wait.
John, you need to get down here. John needs to make it.
Yes, he's killing me.
It's
got to get out of West Virginia.
Delta flights are.
There is no I wish. I'm going to be there.
Delta flights are stupidly cheap. If you're on the East Coast, it's like $150 to fly down.
He's still pushing hail. He's up in West Virginia pushing hail still for like all year long. Like that's the longest storm ever, awesome. I think. So
that'd be good. That'd be really good,
man. It's going to be a fun show, man. I can't wait.
It is.
I found these. So real talk. Like my first time I ever went to MTE was about 7 years ago, right? And so I had been a PDR tech. I was making decent money and doing the thing, but I go to MTE. And I pull up front, and it's like 11 at night. I pull into the little concierge, and Corey Fisher, and who else is there? Derek Reed, and who else? I think Colton Lamey is there. Yeah. And they're all hanging, and there's just these dudes just hanging out outside, and we all start hanging out, and we start talking about dents, and we start drinking, and then we start talking about dents, and we start drinking, and we start fixing what. Corey Fisher goes and gets his cousin's rental car, and we start fixing that, and we're just drunk enough to think we're doing a great job. And Daniel Grom comes out, and Mike Toledo shows up, and Stuckey shows up with a light, and it was his first LED light. It was just this cool 2 a.m. in the morning, and I'm this dude who's just they're using the tools out of the back of my truck, and Sal Contreras comes out and is judging me for the way I'm bending his tool and telling me how I should have bent it differently. And I'm like, oh my God, Sal, just tell me what to do, I'll do it.
That is awesome. That's epic.
So Sal's there and hanging, and it's just this cool little organic thing. And that turned into the Drunk Dent Olympics kind of whatever, but it was. To me, that I'm not joking. That night of hanging out with other dent guys, I mean, we joke about it a lot. My wife hates hearing about dents on body lines.
Oh yeah,
she doesn't give a shit about that. That's the reality. So coming to a thing like this and just being able to kind of talk shop, I left excited about my job, and I left really pumped and motivated, and my sales. In January of that year or February of that year in the off season jumped 40-50% because I was just pumped. I had all these sales tools and all these techniques. And So MTE has been a must for me and a must for my team to come and just see how big the industry is and what it's doing. And so to me, these meetups are like a version of that. It's just a way to come and talk shop with guys that believe in what you're talking about and care. And you can probably learn from other guys, but you can also probably teach other guys while you're there. There's going to be a lot of guys that are very, very teachable and that are going to be a part of this. And it's pretty exciting to be a part of that.
Well, that's a good thing about the meetups too. Like MTE is great, love it to death, but there's so much going on. There's so many people waiting for like tool vendors and stuff. This is more of an more intimate thing to where you can actually get to the tool vendors a little easier. You can talk, you have better conversations everywhere. So that's what I like about the meetup.
And it's hard to even at this, it's hard to get to everybody.
Yeah,
it's still hard that I know at your
my meetup, I barely talked. I think I talked to you for like 2 seconds.
Yeah,
I was like, all right,
and that's where I met John Yeager at, and we had probably the longest conversation, like 20 minutes, and then like the meetup that me and Spencer Roden and Christopher Allen put on back in March, even all them people, I mean, you may say, hey, but I never got to really, as a host, kind of talk with a lot of them. Now, of course, several of us went out and talked later on. I mean, or hung out later. But it was it's just hard to see everybody. So if you're new, if you've never been to one of these, I've never been to MTE. I was planning on going this year, first year. I'll go next year. So but the meetups, if you've never been, look, don't be upset if you don't meet everybody that you've been wanting to meet and get to talk to them and spend hours with them. Just come in, hang out, enjoy, say hey. And you're probably going to do like we've done, and Andy may have gotten the idea from your other meetup you had. But we sent out, everybody signed in, name, phone number, email, and at the end of it, we emailed that list out. That way you've got contact information.
Yeah.
And that really helped, and people can kind of get in touch and stay in touch. And
I got all my stuff from Matt's meetup. I was taking notes in my head. I'm like, yep, I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that.
Yep,
I'm going to do that.
So and we got ours from you, So
I love it.
It's awesome.
Well,
hey, we're at an hour and 7 minutes, guys. So I think we may end this if you have anything else, Matt?
I was literally working on, you can't see it on here, but I was working on our registration for our raffle earlier today. I'm building a landing page so that guys can come in and basically fill it out. And what's interesting is I've got a lot of detailers who've reached out to me and said they want to come be a part of it. And like, hey, will there be any trainers there? And what if I wanted to add PDR to my detailing business? And so we've got that whole, kind of side of it. Nice. And so I've got on here, what do you do? And again, whoever travels the furthest to get here, we're going to have a special prize for. I know that Anson is donating the door lords for us to raffle off for the raffle. I've got specifically myself, I've got some cool stuff that I've ordered to just kind of toss in for the raffle. We've got some cool stuff that we're going to be doing. So it's going to be a fun time. 10 to 4 at my shop in Duluth. If you have any questions, feel free to message me. I mean, again, just PM me. And if you think you can make it or show up just for the day or show up for a couple of hours, I mean, it's going to be awesome. It's going to be time. And then down the road, if you're not able to make this one, maybe down the road, or if you have a conversation, I'm an open book and I want to help the industry. I have been, I know Don talks about this a lot. I've been very blessed by this industry and blessed by the people that I've met in this industry. And a lot of my best friends are techs. I mean, Brandon, you and I have never met in person, and I consider you your friend, and I am looking forward to seeing you in person. And I've learned an enormous amount about. I mean, I tell you this, but Chris White, one of my best friends in this industry, because he is a guy who cares about his wife, his family, his kids. He loves his family. He's a man of faith. He works really, really hard, and he provides a great product, and he's just got a great attitude while he's doing it. And to me, that's an important thing to do. And so a lot of the best people that I've met in my career have been through meetups like this. So I'm excited about it, and excited to give back just a little bit, and think it'll be a cool event. So
you're an awesome dude, Matt. We all appreciate it.
We do, man. And it's going to be fun. Like I said. So, if you're out there and you haven't, I know the discount's gone for the hotel, but
I could potentially hook you up if you want to book the hotel. Let me know, and I can get you linked, and I can ask the hotel to like kind of toss you into that block. So
there you go.
If you can come and do it, just book the hotel, and I'll see if I can get you hooked up with it. So get that day off. Come on.
That's
John's nephew. He's working with him in West Virginia, and he's learning PDR right now. This would be a great event for him to come to. Like,
John, you need to get down here.
John, quit cracking the damn whip. Let the man.
I mean, he just went to Tampa to visit with Kevin Bird. I mean, come on.
I know, right? I guess we're not cool enough.
We did just install some new really badass floors in our shop.
That's
very
what I
proud
want
of.
to see those floors.
And I honestly, this is a little bit of the marketing. I knew I was doing the meetup, and I knew I was doing the floors, and I waited until the week after I did the floors to announce the meetup because I wanted everyone to say I want to see those floors in person. So that was a little bit of marketing. So it was good though. I'm excited about that. It looks sexy and it's good, and I'm not joking. We have customers every single week that stop by and are like, this is okay. Yeah, this looks great. Like this is the place for me. I mean, we've had new Broncos C8s, whatever Corvettes, whatever, because they're like, oh man, this is you care about things the same way I care about them.
Experience is everything for that type of customer. Like
that's
that
it
stands out.
Well, you're asking them, especially if it's like a ceramic coating or a PPF or a big dent or a hail damage, you're asking them to leave it overnight with you. And so you need to be able to say, like, we're going to tuck your baby in over here and it's going to have its, whatever. We do a ton of Teslas, and we have a Tesla charger on our wall so that we can charge Teslas when they come pick it up. It's fully charged when they pick it up. We literally have a Tesla charging station, and we take pictures of it and do all this, whatever. So anyway, if y'all have any questions, bring your camera when you come to the shop, take pictures of everything in the shop. I mean, I don't have this down pat, but I'm learning as I go, and I'm an open book. So if I can help in any way, let me know.
And I can testify that anytime I've had a problem, I'll text Matt or whatever, and he's quick to jump on and help me out. So Matt, thank you for that too. You're a great dude. And like I said, that you're great for the industry as a whole.
Yeah. Corvette customer wants to come and saw the. Yeah. So Taylor's talking about. I didn't know that, but that's cool. Yeah. Good stuff.
He's like, look what I did.
That's awesome. Stopped by for a window tent and sold him on ceramic coating floors. That's awesome. That's good stuff. I mean,
that's so awesome.
And that goes back to finding the right people. Like, I mean, the reality is Taylor, Preston, I've got other techs, Con, Will, other guys that are there. They handle all the day-to-day, and I can focus on kind of the 10,000 foot view, so to speak, to the best of my ability. And that doesn't come overnight. That comes from hiring the right people and recruiting the right people, and having a good identity of who you want to be, and then finding people that want to be a part of that. So
yeah, most definitely.
That's awesome, man. Well, hey, thank you so much for coming on the show.
Yeah, of course.
Tonight. Yeah. We've had over 20 viewers the entire time. We were up to 31 viewers at once.
Oh wow, that's awesome.
That's pretty awesome. So, but yeah, man, thank you so much. And we look forward to seeing you. It won't be long, and we'll be up there.
It's like
over there, whatever it is.
Like a week and a half, something like that. So it's good stuff.
Sweet.
Awesome.
Thank you, brother.
So, it'll be fun.
Yeah. Anyway, we're going to say goodbye. I don't have an exit video this time, so we're just going to end this sucker. So if you want to stay around, we can say bye. Just give us a minute. All right, buddy. Well, it was a great show,
awesome,
man.
Yeah.
Hey, we appreciate everybody. Hey, real quick, we are doing another giveaway, just real quick. So we do have Gingerbread Dent shirts. I do have them on my PDR Apparel site, Facebook. So you can order them if you want to, but I'm going to give one away. And I'm giving one away to the guy who is always first. First one to watch, first one to comment every show we've had, and that's Corey Nichols. So, Corey, I'll text you tomorrow.
He's actually our guest for next week, too.
He's actually our guest for next week, too, guys. So, treat him nice, okay? But these are comfortable shirts, great shirts. My PDR Apparel, we are a sponsor of this, too. So, go on the Facebook page. Yep, he's got one of them. He just got a bunch of shirts in too. So, if y'all like fun shirts, 80s, 90s themes, I tell you what, just wearing them around, doesn't matter where you're at, your shop or out and about, it's conversation pieces, guys, and that's what you want. You want people to come up, talk to you, you know, hey, what, man, I love that, you know, and then you can sell them on dent repair. So, look it up and order you some shirts, guys. So
thank you everybody for tuning in and commenting and stuff. We got a great
Yes.
group of people that always keep tuning in. I love it. And it seems like
and
the listeners
remember,
want to.
remember Jeremy Smith, Collision Glue Systems, guys, collisionglue.com. Go there, order some Sagan Solar Blitz. Man, you're missing out if you don't have it.
And he put the prep process in the comments, so
and it's on the website too. So
perfect. Awesome.
All right, guys. We'll see y'all next week.
Y'all have a good night.
Corey Nichols. So see you guys. Bye.